Ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello, hello. We are here, episode 30, big 30 of the Go Talk Radio podcast. We got a special one today for you guys. We are doing trivia. Whoop, whoop. We're going to start off simple with a little bit talking about the NBA Finals. And then as people join in, we'll get to drafting teams around 8 Eastern time, and we'll get to cooking. 2 hours to get through as many questions as we can for our deciding team. The first two people that showed up was Mr. D-Nick, the guy with the Patrick Mahomes logo, and I Gas the GOAT with the Kansas over Oklahoma logo taking down the post. So those will be our two captains for today's trivia episode. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good.
Pretty good, man. Chilling.
Doing fine.
Them boys said they here to make some money today. That's what I heard.
Yes, sir.
Who been watching the finals, man? Somebody update me on what's going on.
I missed game 2. But
how's Caruso's the X Factor?
Yeah, Caruso's here. But we knew when OKC traded for him that it was a playoff. He's a playoff player, He's somebody who definitely fills in gaps and becomes an impact player in the playoffs. That's why, even though his regular season numbers were down compared to when he was in Chicago, I wasn't really concerned. As an OKC fan, I wasn't concerned about that.
Fair enough. Yeah, Caruso was definitely drafted for the playoffs, not for the regular season. I mean, traded for the playoffs, not for the regular season.
From what I'm saying, though, he is outplaying Halliburton. They saw a post that they both have 31 points each in both final games combined.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Halliburton and Siakam are both ridiculously underplaying, but to be underplaying by that much and to be 1-1. Mr. Swagger, what's going on?
Yo, y'all get me?
Yeah.
What's the topic? How y'all feeling?
We're just chopping up the finals right now. Anything you want to throw out there?
Shout out OKC, Thunder Nation in the chat. Melly, you feel me?
Yes, sir.
But it's just as a Thunder fan, it's cool. You gotta put these boys to sleep. If you don't put them to sleep, they're gonna be right there behind you, waiting, creeping. So that's you gotta really lock in on these Pacers. But it's a better series than I expected, honestly. From a basketball point of view, a fan point of view. So just excited to see how it turn out. But Thunder in 5, of course, always. Thunder in 5.
I can see that.
So yeah.
Yeah, I can say that they've been playing a little bit of basketball as expected, tempo, pace, ball movement, ball passes, ball traveled. Every advanced offensive statistic, the Pacers lead. And the majority of defensive metrics, the Thunder lead. So it's not really a surprise that we're seeing such an advanced pace of basketball. I just think we're not really seeing the technical superstardom that we're used to seeing, that we've been spoiled with in NBA Finals past. Yeah.
Yeah, these are definitely two more complete teams than we've been. Yeah, like you said, there's a lot of star power recently in the finals. And yeah, these are more team ball, team systems.
Yep. All right. What y'all boys think about the Aaron Rodgers thing? We're going to go one by one through all the topics. And as soon as we have enough, we're going to start the trivia immediately.
I mean, the Steelers have had bad, well, I won't say bad, but they haven't had elite quarterback play for a good while now. And seems like that was one of the main things holding them back from really being a contender. So if A-Rod is anything above what we've seen, it could be interesting, especially with DK there.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know the defense is going to still always be top 5 in the league. So it has potential to be a title contending team, but they actually have to do it on the field.
Yeah.
I think it was nice, but I think he's about to hang it up with the Steelers because he's like 41, dude. And so,
I mean, it's cool. They're getting Rodgers to the Steelers, but it's like, what now? It's like, is that really a championship contending team? So do you just keep getting rentals? Do you keep on, like, do you invest in a quarterback next year? The Steelers got to figure out that question because it's coming, or, revolving door, a cycle of just getting these old quarterbacks, Russell Wilson to Aaron Rodgers now to, okay, what's the plan here? You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to see how it playing out, but I don't expect nothing too much from them. Same thing kind of last year, so.
Man, if he anything like he was last year, then I think it's a good fit. Maybe a change of scenery is what he need after the injury. So DK is a big addition, but I think he had a great team over in New York. We all see how that turned out.
I think the thing missing in New York was culture, something that Steelers have embedded around Aaron Rodgers. Because they do have the next, and that was drafting Will Howard. Aaron Rodgers talked about Will Howard today, how he's going to try to teach as much as he can, do everything that he can with them, work with drills with them, be in the film room with them, concepts with them. He talked about developing Will Howard as much as he can before he leaves the game. He also talked about spending a lot of time investing in the team, in the locker room, with the coaches, going with the flow. Talked a little bit about adjusting plays, line of scrimmage audibles. If Aaron Rodgers, I agree, Mr. Baker, if Aaron Rodgers plays remotely close to what he played for New York, they're at least a 9-8 team. If they win one more game, they're in the playoffs. If they win 2 or 3 more, there won't be really much to argue about them being a Super Bowl caliber team. I think they're still missing something. They have talent on defense. They just need to pay some talent, and maybe getting someone in the trade like a McLaurin would be
A running back.
great. Yeah, a running back would be good too. I just don't know what's really out there right now. J.K. is gone. Nick Chubb's gone. A lot of the role players like Gainwell's already there. So it's like they drafted a running back as well. Yeah.
My thing is about what you said about them being a 9-8 team based off just Rodgers statistics last year be fine, and they probably get another win just due to the fact of the coaching staff this year than the Jets. Aaron, I don't know the thing about Aaron Rodgers and forcing out the coach for the Jets, but with that going down and them getting an internship or half a year coach last year to having someone who's consistent at winning in the football game to having a better coaching staff. The team overall, in my opinion, I think the Jets had a better roster on paper, but they couldn't get anything done with it. The Steelers still have a good team, and to have a defense that's consistent in top 5 to get you out on the field more should benefit him some more also.
I agree. I think there's a couple of questions in the NFL right now. How are they going to split the snaps in Houston? How are they going to handle the situations that are happening in the Bengals in terms of their star players? Who's going to be the week 1 starter for the Cleveland Browns, and how long will they start? And then you have progression answers like Jaden Daniels year 2, CJ Stroud bounce back year, Bryce Young bounce back year, JJ McCarthy. Is he, the next, or is he being overhyped? How will Sam Darnold fit in Seattle? How will Geno Smith fit in Vegas? Somebody give me a thought on something.
I think Geno, defense might be slightly a little bit better because of Max Crosby, but I can see them as maybe a 9-8 team as well, or maybe even 10-7. Playoff Val.
That's a
I
tough
think Geno will
division.
do it.
Go ahead, Dom.
So I think he will, especially with John T being there. Because you still have the run game going with John T. Get some play actions going with Brock Bowers, and it's gonna that has a lot of potential to be a good system for him. Geno, you're not asking Geno to do a lot in that Raiders offense because there's good weaponry around him. So as long as he's a Geno Smith that he was before, they will definitely be fine on offense. Now their defense looks a little, but
that division is also going to be tough this year.
Yep, I was just about to say that. I think that the division, a couple years ago with Russell Wilson and Denver and all that, oh my gosh, the division was going to be so special. Derek Carr, I think that was his last year over there. I think this year is going to be what that year was supposed to be. Every game is going to matter in that division for sure.
I'm just curious to see what Bo Nix does his second year.
Yep, with Sean Payton. And they made some massive improvements on defense. Whoa, they did. Like, them and the Vikings did some really sneaky stuff in the offseason defensively. I don't think that, and in terms of backside help, I think both of those teams could use a Jair. I don't think that any cold team should pay for someone like Jalen Ramsey. I saw this take, and I thought about it, and I agreed that he's always played for more warm weather teams. And, players like that, you kind of just want to stick to that. So,
yeah. Especially later in his career, that would be a massive switch up for him to go to a cold team.
Yeah. I think he's 30. I think he can still be a great zone corner. Hell of a safety. I think he could play 5 more years as a safety. Because he tackles good. Open field tackling.
Yeah. Great. One of the best tacklers out of the corner spot, probably. Might be the best corner tackler in the league right now. Actually, thinking about it.
I think our last one of our enough to have teams will be here right now. The next person that comes in. Is everybody aware of the topics? The 5 points?
Nah, you said Thomas thought it was. Nah, I'm not aware.
Okay, so we have MLB, we have NFL, NBA,
Mm-hmm.
NBA Finals, and then we have Bruh What? As y'all know, the Bruh Whats are all worth 500, and then the NBA Finals ones will be worth 500 apiece as well.
Gotcha.
Cash Like That said, "Why ain't nobody showing their faces?" Good Hood, yes sir. Michael Penix, where will Kirk Cousins land? Jalen Walker, that's a good one. What y'all think about Jalen Walker?
Jalen Walker, he went to the Falcons, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be. I think that'll be good for him because I mean he has to stay home. He don't have to switch nothing. Just keep doing what he's doing. Lock in. Get it done. He really ain't got to. The fans are gonna love him already just off him being in Georgia.
Right.
So,
All right. All right. Looks like we have enough now. We started 5 minutes. We still have 5 minutes. Pretty good. Awesome. All right. So, Dom and Gas, you two were the first two here. Gas, you pick first because Dom wants the next two. And of course, the people will join as they join. They'll go to the last person drafted. So, Gas, first overall pick. What you got?
I'll go with Shadow.
Okay. Dom, you got the next two.
all right, give me Mr. Hood Gang and Mr. Blazers.
Okay. Blazers is cash flow.
All right, the cash flow on Hood.
Okay. Larson, Gas, you have Derek, the guy in the middle, and Shadow up top. Now, normally, as we play trivia, everybody, I'm a face guy so we know we're not cheating. But we got a couple new people today, so I'm gonna try to be a little bit lenient on the rules. But in saying that, today, if you get it wrong the first time in your time, you won't get another try. So we're not gonna do the next turn thing. So.
What's up, Nelly?
What's up?
All right, so how the order will go, we have Gas and Melly first round. Winner stays, loser goes. The first draft pick was Shadow, so you'll be next on Gas's team. And then Dom, you want Cashflow going second, or you want Kevin Baker going second?
Let me get Cashflow going second.
Cashflow going second, Kevin Baker going third. Derek, you'll be going third on Gas's team.
All right, I'm back. I'm in a good mood. I was just grubbing when my camera was off. I made a little chicken sandwich.
Oh, that helps you answer some questions, man. All right. Seems the connection's a little bad, but we'll figure it out. All right. Dom, Gas, are y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Larson, NFL, NBA, MLB, NFL Finals, or bruh, what?
Let's do a bro what?
Okay, all the bruh what questions are worth 500. You understand?
Yeah, sir.
Yep.
All right. Question number 1. Name 3 players drafted before Joshua Primo. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Now these bro what questions got me losing it.
Dominic, name 3 players drafted before Joshua
Damn.
Primo.
Jason Tate.
Three,
Christian Wood.
4.
Austin.
That is incorrect. Shadow, name 3 players drafted before Joshua Primo.
Kate Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley.
That is correct.
And I wasn't even gonna say that though, but y'all ain't even mentioned Franz Wagner.
Well, yeah.
Was drafted before him.
Yeah.
All right. Next 2, Shadow, you stay. And Cash Flow. Shadow and Cash Flow. Shadow, NFL, NBA, bro, what? MLB, NBA Finals.
Go ahead, NBA.
NBA for how much?
What was the last one for? My bad.
So that was a bro what? All the bro what questions are worth 500.
Okay, nah, do NBA for 400.
NBA for 400. How many current NBA logos have an animal in them?
Yeah.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
6.
That is incorrect. Cash Flow, how many current NBA logos have an animal in them?
8.
That is correct. All right. Cash Flow stays. Derek, you're up.
Sure, brother.
The 8 were Hawks, Bucks, Hornets, Bulls, Timberwolves, Pelicans, Mavs, and
Mavericks.
the Grizzlies. Cash Flow, NBA Finals, MLB, bro, what? NBA, NFL.
NBA Finals 200.
All the NBA Finals questions are worth 500.
Oh, okay. Let's get it.
Who was the team that sent home the then 8 consecutive time NBA champions? Bonus if you can name the star player on that team and the team they sent home. So 3 answers to get 1,000 or 1 answer to get 5. I'll repeat the question one more time.
That's definitely a bro what.
Who was the
Repeat
team?
your question.
Who was the
Yeah, there
team
you go, my bad.
Who was the team that sent home the then 8 consecutive time NBA champions? Bonus if you can name the star player on the team and the team that they sent home. So that's 3 answers for 1,000 or 1 answer for 500. 10, 9, 8.
All right, so can I start with the team who won? Who the 8 consecutive team is?
No, that's the bonus. You have to name the team that sent them home first. Because if you name whatever, I can't give you credit for it.
Oh, all right.
6,
Shit.
5,
Ain't no wrong.
4, 3.
The Lakers?
That is incorrect. Kevin Baker. Who was the team that sent home the then 8 consecutive time NBA champions? Bonus if you can name the star player on that team and the team they sent home. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Was it Houston?
That is incorrect. Derek.
I think the Celtics had a run that was 8 years.
And that's the one.
That's the one. Yeah, that we know that. We know who that is.
So I'm gonna ask the question,
Right.
and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna ask you to repeat your answer after I ask the question. Who was the team that sent home the then 8 consecutive time NBA champions? Bonus if you can name the star player on the team and the team they sent home.
I'm gonna say the Bulls.
That is incorrect. Dominic. Who was the team that sent home the then 8 consecutive time NBA champions? Bonus if you can name the star player on the team and the team they sent home. 8.
Bucks.
That is incorrect.
Can I
Gas.
steal?
Gas the GOAT, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think.
Yes.
What year we talking about?
It's got to be the 60s.
Yeah, it got to be the 60s or the
Gas to
70s,
go?
bro. 'Cause it's no-
I'm
Gas.
gonna say
Who was the team that sent home the then 8 consecutive time NBA champions? Bonus if you can name the star player on the team and the team they sent home. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
I'll go Knicks.
That is incorrect. Shadow, you're the last one. Who was the team that sent home the then 8 consecutive time NBA champions? Bonus if you can name the star player on the team and the team they sent home. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
The Sixers?
That is correct. Can you name the star player on that Sixers team and the team they sent home?
If we talking about the 60s, that's Big Will, ain't it? Still?
It was Wilt Chamberlain. And who was the team they sent home?
And shout out to whoever one of y'all said Boston.
That is correct.
That's what-
Wilt Chamberlain averaged
They
20
run the
points,
60s.
20 points and
Derek.
29 rebounds. Imagine.
So the Sixers were in the West at one point. So yeah, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, the sisters won it.
No, I'm saying so they were in the Western Conference. That
No, they
the Western
won.
Conference to beat the Celtics.
That was in the East when they won this. Yeah, they had to be in the West. How did?
No. They took them out. It doesn't mean
Oh,
they
took
beat
them
them in
out
the
in the playoffs.
finals.
Oh, took them out
They
in the
beat them-
playoffs.
Yes.
Gotcha.
The Bulls guess wasn't bad. That's just the wrong generation. Yeah.
Wait.
So Shadow stays, and we are at cash flow. Shadow and cash flow. Again. Shadow, we have NFL, NBA, bro, what? MLB and NBA finals. Yes.
NBA 300.
NBA 300. You're here to cash out. All right. Who has the most slam dunk contest wins? Double points if you can name the years. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nate Robinson.
That is correct. Can you name the years?
Do I get it wrong if I try to?
All right. We're just going to leave it at Nate Robinson.
No.
Let me guess the year.
2006. 2006.
What?
2000.
I mean, y'all could guess the years now, but it's not going to get credit for it.
2006.
That was
Can I
one of
guess
the
the
years.
years?
It was like 07, 09.
09 and 010 and 10.
It was 2006, 2009, and 2010.
And also Matt McClung got the same amount too, so he don't have to lead. And Matt McClung having in 23 and 24 and 25.
You got 3 in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got 3. Side note, I feel like dunk contests have gotten really boring.
I think we should get bonus points for that.
I'm just saying.
You said I should get bonus points for that, so I should give credit to both answers, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Shadow stays. That's right.
All right, Shadow. I'll give credit to the cash flow points, but you don't stay. Shadow and Kevin Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Big
Shadow.
NBA Finals.
NBA Finals. All questions are worth 500.
Talk to me.
Who famously went 0 for 11 from 3 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals? 10.
0 for 11 is crazy.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Did you give me a year or no?
That is incorrect.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Baker, who famously went 0 for 11 from 3 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
9, hold on.
7, 6, 5, 4,
Shit.
2, 1.
Clay?
That is incorrect. Who do we have now? Derek, who famously went 0 for 11 from 3 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
I believe it is.
That is incorrect. It's
Wait,
okay.
let me say something. Wait, hold on. Let me say it. LeBron James.
Okay, yep, close. Close.
D-Wade.
Where are we at? We're at the top. We're at the top of the board. Dom, who famously went 0 for 11 from 3 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Kobe?
That is incorrect. Gas, last one for your team.
Oh, I know it.
Who famously went 0 for 11 from 3 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
I'm gonna go with LeBron's teammate Kyrie.
That is incorrect. Good answer though. I mean, good guess.
You talking
Cash
about
flow.
famously.
Cash
Keep
flow.
going.
Last one on the board. Who famously went 0 for 11 from 3 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
I just saw the other day, John Starks.
That is correct. John Starks.
Damn.
No, but didn't LeBron have like a really, really bad finals? Like in like 08?
In 2011.
Yeah, we
I
got
think,
swept by Boris Diaw.
Jimmy Butler had one too that was similar.
Can I get bonus points for the year 1994?
No bonus points. It's already 500.
Like that.
No, I seen it the other day when they played the Knicks, when the Pacers and the Knicks played. They was talking about it.
They put the little factoid up.
Oh, cash flow.
Cash flow and Derek. Cash flow. NBA Finals, MLB, bro, what? NBA or NFL?
Let's go NFL.
For how much?
300.
Double points if you can name both sectors. When running, all right. I need y'all to listen, okay? When running a flood concept, at least how many routes have to be going in the same direction? Double points if you can name the levels. 10, 9.
3?
That is correct. Double points if you can name the levels.
What you mean by levels, though? I know, like, you got a short route, medium route, and a deep route.
That is correct.
What's that?
600 points. See, that's a good one. That's a good little cookie question right there. Cash flow and gas. Sorry, Derek, you didn't even get a chance at that one, bud. NBA Finals, MLB, bro, what? NBA, NFL. Cash flow, you're still on the board. What you want?
Let's go NBA Finals.
NBA Finals. Single game NBA block record. How many? I need the player and I need how many.
Oh, we know the player. We know the player.
Oh,
7,
shit.
6, 5,
Dwight Howard.
3. That is correct. How many?
9.
That is correct.
and it happened against the Los Angeles Lakers, my team.
Cash flow and shadow.
That's
on you, cash flow.
NFL. What numbers we got for NFL?
1, 2, 4, and 5.
Let's go 4.
Okay. Name the city and the state of the only team that has lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Buffalo Bills.
That is incorrect. Shadow.
Oh man.
Name the city and the state of the only team that has lost the 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Oh, city.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Chicago.
That is incorrect.
What was the question again?
Kevin Baker.
Is it me?
Name the city and the state of the only team that has lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. 10, 9, 8, 7,
City and state.
5, 4.
I know this.
The Miami Dolphins.
That is incorrect. Who we at? Derek.
Man, I thought Buffalo Bills lost 4 in a row.
Name the city and the state of the only team that has lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
The San Francisco.
That is
California
incorrect. Dom, name the city.
Buffalo, New York.
That is correct.
I know, like, bro, when I thought about it, I'm like, he's finna try some weird, like, come on.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. He got
Come
it.
on.
I should have said that.
Well, they got
Come on,
like
bro.
4 years.
He love his old school shit.
He love that little read the fine print. All right, come on.
The 1957 Pittsburgh Steelers, dude. What are we talking about right now?
All right, y'all didn't like that question. That's okay. I got some more like that, so y'all better keep paying attention.
It was
to the
Buffalo,
wordage.
New York, though.
Fine
It was
print.
Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York was the correct answer.
Nelly said that. He got it right.
What years? What years?
91 through 94.
From 1990, from 90 to 93.
I wasn't even born yet, man.
All right, we're speeding through this pretty good.
Cowboys and Yankees.
Dom. NFL, NBA, bro, what
What
MLB, NBA Finals? Gas the GOAT is your competition.
What do we have left in NBA?
You have 500. You have 300. Oh, no. I'm sorry. You have 500. You have 200 and 100.
Let's go 200.
Who currently leads this year's finals in steals?
Alex Caruso.
That is incorrect. Gas the GOAT. Who currently leads this year's NBA finals in steals?
You better say his name, guys.
6, 5, 4.
I'm gonna say Lou Dort.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
Cash flow. Who currently leads this year's finals in steals? 9, 8, 7, 6.
Oh, this year's finals or the playoffs? Just the finals.
3,
finals, bro.
2,
Oh, Shea.
1. That is correct.
Yeah, I was about to say that, bro. I was waiting patiently for my time. I knew that one.
Shea leads the finals and steals at 3.5. Cash flow and shadow.
It's on Shadow, right?
It's on you because you got the answer right.
Oh shit. Let's go NBA.
4.
What we got? 4? 4?
We have 1. We have 4. No, we have 1 and 5.
Let's go 5.
Okay. Which 2 players hold the record for free throw attempts in one game?
Yeah.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is incorrect.
I got it.
Shadow.
I can't guess.
What did he say? I didn't hear his answer. What did he say?
He didn't answer in the time limit. Which 2 players holds the record for free throw attempts in one game? 10, 9, 8.
Shaq and DeAndre Jordan.
6. That is incorrect.
Incorrect.
Kevin, which 2 players hold the record for free throw attempts in one game? 10, 9, 8.
I know Shaq is one.
6, 5, 4, 2, 1.
Shit.
That is incorrect. Derek, which 2 players hold the record for the free throws attempted in one game? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Shaq and
2.
All right.
That is incorrect. Did you say Steph Curry? Almost threw up. Dom, which 2 players hold the record for free throw attempts in one game?
Shaq and Wilt.
That is incorrect. Gas, last chance on the board. Which 2 players hold the record for free throw attempts in one game? 7, 6, 5,
Oh my God.
4, 3, 2.
Fuck Dwight and Andre Drummond.
That is incorrect.
Yeah.
The answers was Shaq and Dwight at 39
Second
attempts.
Second Dwight, 39.
Dwight?
Yeah, second Dwight, 39.
By
You said 39 in one game?
Yeah, they were going to hack
I was
Shaq,
thinking,
hack
dude.
Dwight Howard.
7. Okay. Oh,
That's insane.
okay.
39.
It was
Shit.
between DJ and Dwight. I just said the wrong nigga.
Okay. All right, see you tomorrow.
No, Drummond had like 30 something.
Yeah, so Dwight had 39 in the regular season game, and Shaq had 39 attempts in a playoff game.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Does it say what? Who was the opponent?
Nah, I don't remember who the opponent was, but that was the game he had like 9 blocks, and like he almost had a 30, 20, 10, 10.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe a 40, 20. It was something crazy. He was like 18 for 39 on the free throws. Yeah. All right. So that leaves us with, it looks like Mr. Baker has eliminated himself from being able to get any compensation. There he is. Okay. So who we have right now? Nobody got it right. So who's the next 2 up? Baker and Derek. Derek, NBA, NFL, bro, what? MLB, NBA Finals.
MLB. Oh, shit.
It is Derek's turn.
Is he on my team?
No, Kevin Baker is not on your team.
Okay. I got to think about. Okay, for sure. Let's go with NFL
Okay.
for 500.
500, you say?
Yes.
Okay. Who are the only 2 left-handed quarterbacks to start and win a Super Bowl?
Patrick Mahomes
Okay.
and
That is
I think Eli Manning is lefty.
Okay. Kevin Baker. Who are the 2? Excuse me. That answer just really I can't even read. All right. Let's all take a second. All right, Mr. Baker. Who are the only 2 left-handed throwing quarterbacks left-handed throwing quarterbacks to start and win a Super Bowl? 10,
The quarterback.
7,
Shit.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Damn.
1. That is incorrect.
Bro, anything past 96, I don't know, bro.
One of them is easy. I don't know the other one at all.
Where are we at? We are at the top of the board, and it is Gas the GOAT, who are the only two left-handed throwing quarterbacks to start and win a Super Bowl. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Steve Young. We'll go just because of Madden. Ken Stabler.
That is correct.
Right.
Time was
Yeah.
up. Time was up.
He was answering. He was answering.
He was answering. Gas and Dom.
The only reason I took Ken Stabler was because of Madden. I just knew he threw left-handed. I was just taking a guess back in the day.
Yeah, the Raiders. Yeah, he got one. Yeah.
Gas the GOAT. NBA, NFL, bro. What MLB or NBA finals?
What NFL do we still have left?
We have NFL for 200 and 100.
NFL for 200.
NFL for 200. Please pay attention to the question. Which team in the NFL has a uniquely directed logo? Bonus points. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not bonus points. You need both parts. I'll start the question over. Which team in the NFL has a uniquely directed logo? Which direction does it face? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is incorrect. Right. Cash flow. Which team in the NFL has a uniquely directed logo? Which direction does it face?
I'm gonna say the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That is incorrect. Who's next? Shadow.
They got the one.
Which team in the NFL has a uniquely directed logo? Which direction does it face? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Eagles.
That is correct. Which direction does it face?
I know that.
What'd you say?
Like
That is incorrect.
It's your team.
Who's next? Dom. Oh no. No, cash flow. No, it's not. It's not you. Kevin Baker. Which team in the NFL has a uniquely directed logo? Which direction does it face?
Eagles, it faces like the left towards the backside.
That is correct. Left. That is the only logo that's faced towards the left. The rest of them are straight up or towards the right, going in the right direction. 200 points.
I'll take it.
The score right now is 2,300 to 2,900. Melly's team is up. Let's go. Kevin Baker and Gas on the board. Kevin Baker, NBA, NFL, bro, what? MLB or NBA Finals?
NBA.
NBA?
Yep.
Okay. The only thing left is 100 for NBA.
I'll take that.
In feet, what is the shortest distance to score 3 points in the NBA?
The left corner. Oh, I need to say
that is incorrect.
What?
Gas the GOAT. In feet, what is the shortest distance to score 3 points in the NBA?
That shit not funny.
Bro, you make me do math right now.
That's what I'm saying, bro. What is it? I know it.
2.
20
That
feet.
is incorrect. Dom, in feet, what is the shortest distance to score 3 points in the NBA?
22 feet.
That is correct.
22 footers. 22 footers, man.
All right, all the NBA is gone. NFL, bro, what? MLB, NBA Finals.
We haven't even touched MLB, have we?
Nope.
Let's do MLB for 100.
MLB for 100. Shadow, you're with him right now, so be paying attention. What does hitting for a cycle mean?
Hitting a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in the same
You
game.
gotta be shitting.
That is correct.
NFL.
That's the only one I would have knew. Like,
Hey, it's only 100.
All right. Dom stays. Derek, that's your competition. Dom,
MLB for
NBA,
200.
MLB for 200. All right. Which team currently leads the league in errors?
The Chicago White Sox.
That is incorrect. Good guess. Derek, which team in the MLB currently leads the league in errors?
The Angels.
Tashi. That is incorrect. Who we have? 1, 2, 3. Cash flow. Which team currently leads the league in errors?
The Boston Red Sox.
That is correct.
Whoa. That was a gift. I don't know nothing about baseball.
Cash flow and Gas the Goat. Cash flow. MLB, NFL, bro, what? And NBA Finals.
Let's do a bro what?
All right. How many MLB teams currently are without an official mascot? Name all of the teams.
Hey man, you might as well skip my turn, man. What the fuck?
7, 6, 5, 4,
Shit.
2,
3.
1. Can you name all the teams?
I know the team. I know the Yankees is one.
That is incorrect. Who's next? Gas the Goat. Gas the Goat. How many MLB teams currently are without an official mascot? Name the teams. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, that is incorrect. Kevin Baker.
That shit already incorrect, bro. I don't even know, bro.
Okay.
I knew 2 of them. I used to get the third.
How many MLB teams currently are without an official mascot? Name the teams. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is incorrect. Shadow, last chance for your team. Oh, no, never mind. Not the last chance. How many MLB teams currently are without an official mascot?
Diamondback.
That is incorrect. Dom, how many MLB teams currently are without an official mascot? Huh?
Damn, I know too.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is incorrect. Derek, last chance for the board. How many MLB teams currently are without an official mascot?
I'm gonna say 3.
Okay, can you name all of the teams?
What was it? They used to be called the Chiefs.
No, that is incorrect.
That's not fair. They changed their name. Like they're
Hey, how many was it though?
no, like what is it? The Redskins, whatever.
So the question was, how many MLB teams currently are without an official mascot? Name the teams.
Oh,
So you would have to name the current names of the teams. It was 3 teams, and it's the
I got
Dodgers,
that right.
Angels, and Yankees.
Oh,
Damn, I couldn't get the
got it wrong.
Angels.
I
I
said
couldn't get the
Yankees.
Angels.
I said you got it wrong because you only said the Yankees.
I should have known the Dodgers too.
Guys, I give more leniency in the past with the face cameras on, but I just can't give that much time without any face cameras on because it gives you too much time to search. Sorry, y'all.
I was first.
The bro what questions are complicated. That's the point of them. Back to where we started.
I think those should be like multiple choice.
They're all worth 500. That's the point.
No, that's good. That's a good question.
Cash flow and gas. Back to the top.
It's on me.
No, the next turn gets skipped. Dom gas. Sorry. And nobody got it right. So gas on you. NFL, bro. What? MLB, NBA Finals.
You say they're still NFL?
Yes.
Which ones?
100.
We'll do it then.
All right. What did you complain about earlier?
The cycle?
No. It was the NBA one. I said I had you doing what?
We're doing math.
Oh, math.
How many points is 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals, 2 safeties, and 1.2 conversion put together? I'll repeat the question one more time.
One more time.
How many points is 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals, 2 safeties, and 1 2-point conversion put together?
Is that 30?
10. That is correct.
The repeat made it too easy.
That man said go.
All right, no more NFL questions.
You counted the touchdowns as you said safeties? Oh, 6, yeah.
Bro, what? MLB, NBA Finals. Gas and cash flow.
MLB 300. I don't think that one's been done yet.
No, it hasn't. Most recent player to win the World Series on both NL and AL teams. Bonus, double points for the years and the teams. So, you need a total of 5 things to get 600 points, or 1 thing to get 300 points. If you get one part wrong, you don't get the points. Gas. Seven, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1.
Juan Soto.
That's incorrect.
I'm just thinking of someone old that could have just bounced around.
Cash flow. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped Kevin Baker. No, it's okay. I'll come back. Cash flow. The
You can
most
go to him.
recent. Huh?
You can go to him. You can
Okay,
go to him.
Kevin Baker.
What's the question?
I'm not a baseball guy.
Most recent player to win the World Series MVP on both the NL and AL teams. Bonus for the years and teams. 8, 7, 6, 5.
Shit.
3, 2.
You know this.
That is
Bro.
incorrect.
Wow.
Shadow. I used to see Shadow. Are you there, Mr. Hashway? Going once. for mic check.
Yo.
Okay. The most recent player to win a World
Yeah.
Series MVP on both NL and AL teams. Bonus for the years and the teams.
It's me.
Yeah.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Mike Vick,
6.
Tony Romo,
Okay.
Dak Prescott.
Okay.
What the fuck?
I like that. I like that. You taking the Derek approach. Okay.
I don't know. See, that's what I'm about.
Cash flow. Most recent players to win. I'm sorry. Dom. Most recent players to win World Series MVP on both NL and AL teams. Bonus for the years and the teams.
Corey Seager.
That is correct. Can you name the years and the teams?
Dodgers 2017, Rangers 2023.
That was so close. But that is
Close
incorrect.
But
You get credit.
Damn.
You get credit
It's
for
my
the
turn.
300. No, the bonus is just not there. But you get the
Oh,
300.
shit.
So the years was 2020 for the
2020.
Dodgers and 2023 for the Rangers.
Yeah.
I knew it was, yeah. You knew that.
I forgot Corey Seager played for the Dodgers, bro. I swear to God I did, bro. You know he won't want in Texas for sure.
Yep.
I know I was about to say Mookie Betts.
Dom and Derek. Yeah, Mookie Betts would have been a good one, but he didn't win MVP. Dom and Derek. Dom, you have, bruh, what? MLB and NBA Finals.
Let's do NBA Finals. What do we have left in there? Oh, they're all 500, right?
Yeah, they're all 500. MVP of the 1983 Finals. 8, 7.
Moses Malone?
That is correct. Dom
Take us
and
home, Dom.
Dom and Gas. Gas, your team's got to win got to damn near win out. It's getting ugly. Dom, bro, what? MLB, NBA Finals.
Bro, what's it scary? MLB 400.
You said what for 400?
MLB.
All right. Who was the first player in the MLB to sign a $100 million contract?
Oh, I know that.
Alex Rodriguez.
That is incorrect. Gas the GOAT. Who was the first player in the MLB to sign a 9-figure contract?
I know that's one.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is incorrect. Cash flow. Who was the first player in MLB to sign a 9-figure contract?
Alex Rodriguez.
That is incorrect. Shadow. Who was the first player in the MLB to sign a 9-figure contract?
Derek Jeter.
That is incorrect. Kevin Baker. Who was the first player in MLB to sign a $100 million contract?
All right, before I answer this question, if I say the team, I just know the team. I know the team for sure.
9,
But I don't know.
7, 6.
Fuck, he played for the Dodgers, bro.
3, 2, 1. That is
Oh, he got my first
incorrect.
name. He got my first name. No, he got my first name, bro.
Derek. Who was the first player in the MLB to sign a $100 million contract?
Kevin.
He definitely.
3,
Yeah, that's
2,
great.
1.
Kevin
That
from
is
the Dodgers.
Incorrect. The answer is
That counts.
Kevin
100%.
Brown.
Kevin Brown.
Kevin Brown.
A-Ron was the first.
I knew it because A-Rod was second behind him, bro. I remember that shit, bro.
No, with some players in between them two. A-Rod just got a lot. He got a lot. He was the first player to get that big bag.
Yeah.
Grayson made trivia hard as shit, bro. Pause.
No, I don't think so because a lot of the baseball guys answered the baseball questions really easily, but didn't answer anything else. You know, and so it's just kind of like you have to know all the sports. That's all it is.
Yeah, I don't know too much
No,
about
you
baseball.
got just elite ball knowledge questions. You just don't. You're not beginner friendly at all. You're not sitting here talking about how many teams are got animal logos. No, you said it. Who was it? 1986.
It's the shortest 3-point line. What the fuck?
I said how many feet? You said left corner. Like you're not even trying at that point. You're not trying.
I know it's I know it's the shortest.
Different ways too.
Yeah, like the left corner shorter than the right corner. Like what are we talking about? You need to get your feet checked.
Yeah, I know that. I know that for sure. The left and right corner don't know the feet though.
It's because you only run to that left corner. You ain't going to both sides of the court. I already know. that's what it is.
Gotta think how you lay.
All right, back at the top. Dom and Gas. Dom, you got Bro What? You got MLB and NFL final. Damn, Bro What? MLB and NBA finals.
NBA Finals.
All right. This is the last NBA finals question. This one is a difficult one. In a finals clincher, this player had the same amount of points as minutes, scoring 20. Nigga, I am in the middle of reading the question.
My bad.
In a finals clincher, this player had the same amount of points as minutes, 23, scoring 21 of his points from behind the three, ending the game 7 for 8 from the tray. Who am I? Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Somebody on the Spurs, bro.
3, 2.
Brent Berry.
That is incorrect. Gas the goat. The question is, who am I? This is your clue. In a finals clincher, I had the same amount of points as minutes, 23, scoring 21 of my points from behind the three-point range, ending the game 7 for 8 from behind the tray. Who am I? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is incorrect, Gas. Thank you for playing. Cash flow.
Pascal Siakam.
That is incorrect.
Wow.
Shadow.
Shane Battier.
That is incorrect. Kevin Baker.
Ray Allen.
That is incorrect. Well, y'all getting closer. Derek, final chance on the board. Would you like the question again?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Your job is to figure out my name. And an NBA Finals clincher, I had the same amount of points as minutes, scoring 21 of my points from behind the three-point range, ending the game 7 for 8 from 3. Who am I?
AG. I have no idea.
Is it J.R. Smith?
That is incorrect.
I'm just guessing because y'all got that.
I mean, y'all can keep, no one gets the points, but I'll let y'all keep guessing. Go for it. Open mic.
Dirk Fisher.
Incorrect.
Robert Horry.
Incorrect.
Matt Bonner?
Incorrect.
Kobe?
Incorrect.
That sounds fun. 3 minutes.
I thought I was Siakam. I don't know nobody else.
Incorrect.
Klay Thompson.
Nope. The answer was Mike Miller.
Mike Miller.
Miller
Ain't no way.
on the Heat.
On the
Yeah.
Heat.
It was on that Heat.
Yep.
That had to be 2013.
I knew it was on that Heat. That's why I said Shane Betty. It was on that Heat team. That's why I said Big Shane.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You can't say that without saying Rob Bahori or Derek Fisher.
That's the game they sent OKC home.
All right, not too much.
That's just what it is, man.
He had to go to him, man.
You know I had to.
He had to just.
Bro, what's an MLB? Who we got? We have Shadow and Cashflow. Shadow, pick one. Bro, what or MLB?
Bro, what?
Okay. Which two active NFL players are tied for third most passing attempts in a single game? Bonus if you can name how many and who is number one.
Golf? Is Jared Goff one?
4, 3, 2, 1. Final answer?
Geno Smith? I don't know.
That is incorrect. Cashflow. Which two active NFL players are tied for the third most passing attempts in a...
You said pass it to third most?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, first most. First or third? What are you saying?
Third most.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Dak Prescott.
That is incorrect. Derek, which two active players are tied for third most passing attempts in a single game? Bonus if you can name who is number one and how many they have.
My original guess was Jared Goff, but since it's not him, I'm gonna have to say third most pass attempts.
4, 3, 2.
Mahomes.
That is incorrect. Well, what was your final answer? I'm sorry. What was the two active players? What did you say?
I said Mahomes.
Okay, do you have a second one?
And I'm blanking on his name.
Okay, that is
but
incorrect.
Hey, you saying, I can't understand you. Are you saying, I know my question passed, you saying first or third?
Okay, I'll repeat the question again, and then, who is it? Kevin Baker, you'll answer. So, Cashflow, you can hear the question. Which two active NFL players are tied for the third most passing attempts in a single game? Bonus if you can name how many and who is number one.
Russell Wilson?
That is incorrect. Gas the GOAT. See, the bro, what questions y'all can't Google? That's why nobody gets them right.
I want to go. Let's do Jared Goff, and then I think he threw enough. Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. Can you name how many they threw? Or who who is number one and how many he threw? Can you get any of those? 2 out of 3 of those.
I'm gonna go with they threw a bunch. Oh fuck.
4, 3, 2,
68.
That is correct. And I need one more. I need who's number one or the record.
No idea. Lost.
Okay. So you'll just get the 500. But yes, Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff had 68 attempts. Drew Bledsoe is number one at 70.
You
said active, bro.
Nope, that wasn't the game. Never mind.
Active, yeah, he's saying active for the initial question, but the bonus question was for the record holder.
Yep.
Who's number 2? Out of curiosity, is it Drew Brees?
No, it wasn't Drew Brees. It was some old head. Hold on, maybe I can find it again because I was Googling everything.
I'm surprised.
Randall Cunningham.
Actually, I just Googled it. Who is Vinny Tester?
Oh,
There you
Vinny
go.
Testaverde?
Oh, the favorite Cowboy, Vinny Testaverde.
And the Jets. That's a mo team.
Yeah, I went in the bad to get
I
these.
ain't know that cash flow.
Is that how I know that?
How you didn't know that? His favorite
Players on here.
I'm older than y'all boy, man.
Just to encourage parents out there that it is a 19-years autism.
How you gonna tell me we threw the ball 68 times and the score's only 20 points? How the fuck does that work?
How many completions did you have that game, guys?
43,
446
446 yards and 1 touchdown.
That's
One
nasty.
touchdown. That is nasty.
We put up 20 points that game.
About 14 fantasy points.
All right, we have 2 more bro whats and then a couple MLBs, and that's it. There's only one MLB and 2 bro whats. Gas the Goat and Dom. It's on you guys.
Guys, checking the question, right? Yeah.
Sorry, what was left?
You have 2 bro whats and then a 1 MLB.
We'll just do the MLB.
Okay. Which 2 teams were a part of the first international MLB game? Double points for the year. And location, sorry.
First.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is incorrect. Dom. Which 2 teams was a part of the first international MLB game?
Dodgers and Red Sox.
That is incorrect. Derek. Which 2 teams was a part of the first international MLB game?
The Dodgers and the Yankees.
That is incorrect. Cash flow. Which 2 teams were part of the first international MLB game?
The Cardinals and the Yankees.
That is incorrect. Gas, go again. Which 2 teams was a part of the first international MLB game? Never mind, guys. Don't go again because you look up the answer after it's your turn. Kevin Baker.
I did go look it up after I lost the first round. I just wanted to see who it was. That's why I didn't
Which 2
answer.
teams was a part of the first international MLB game?
Is it the Yankees and Senators?
That is incorrect. The final answer was the New York Mets and the Montreal Expos in 2003 in Puerto Rico.
Damn.
Yeah, I definitely was thinking more recent. I didn't know they.
Yeah, that's my team right there, the Nationals, Montreal Expos.
Puerto Rico counts as international?
Yep, outside of the United States.
Nah, they consider the
Puerto
United States,
Rico,
nobody.
the United States.
You want to go do your research on that?
Yeah,
First
they're
game
part of
held
US
outside.
territory.
The first game held outside of the states, as in you had to go outside of the states, right? You had they traveled on a plane through water to get there. It was Puerto Rico.
Actually, it was the Expos and the Cardinals in '69 when they went to Canada.
Okay, here we are again. Out of the water.
Oh, broad.
I didn't hear the water part at first. I just heard international game.
We got 2 more bro what questions. Cashflow and Derek. Derek, who was the first woman to win 10 UFC title bouts?
And UFC title belts.
3, 2, 1.
Ronda Rousey. I have no idea.
That is incorrect.
Valentina.
That is incorrect.
What? I thought she just did it. Oh, you said win 10 bouts.
Who's next? Kevin Baker. First woman to win 10 UFC title bouts.
Ronda Rousey.
That is man. Don't gotta do much, just gotta pay attention. Gas to go. Who was the first woman to win 10 UFC title bouts?
I don't know about UFC, bro.
I don't know enough about UFC either. I have no idea.
You want to take a stab at it? 7, 6.
But I don't know the people that fight right now. So serious.
Just say a random name. You name a food item or something.
Banana.
That is incorrect. All right. Hey, Pool.
Banana is crazy.
Amanda Nunes.
That is correct. Amanda Nunes.
She was the first?
To win 10.
Yeah.
I thought it was Valentina.
People got bored of watching her.
Ronda Rousey wasn't no women's UFC fighter?
She didn't win 10, though. She didn't win 10. She was the first.
10. Yeah.
I think she was the first one to headline a UFC card. The first one to headline a UFC card. I don't think I think she won like 3 title fights, if that.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I don't know no other woman outside of her.
You're missing out. They get down. You're missing
I
out.
just Googled it and it said Valentino too. I don't know.
Valentino 2 for what? That also did it?
Say-
The question was who was the first?
To win 10 title bouts. It's Valentino Shevchenko.
Let me look.
Hey, y'all still there? Or was frozen?
No, he looked.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
reading.
that just so still, bro. I thought he was frozen.
I'm reading.
He fact checker.
It's Amanda Nunes.
Amanda Nunes get it first.
Yeah, she got it first.
Valentina
Yeah, she was
just
second.
recently achieved it.
She's the second. But the answer was Amanda Nunes.
Yeah. And Amanda Nunes has 11 in total.
That was a bro what?
That was a bro what?
I will say that was one of your easier, probably the easiest bro what that's been on trivia.
Well, it took seven answers to get it.
I knew it was Amanda, but I forgot her name. I saw her face in my head. And I was like, what is your name, dude?
It got answered correctly though. Those bro what's be missing points after.
Yeah. All right. Last question. We have Dom and we have Gas the Goat. Hey Cam, for the short time you were here, buddy. What is Vasily Lomachenko's all-time combined record? 10, 9, 8, 7, 5.
57-1.
That is incorrect. All-time combined record. It's a bro what question. Gas to go.
You say combined. You mean amateur and professional?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
82-5.
That is incorrect. Cash
It's
flow.
gonna be some regular number.
396 wins, 1 loss.
That is incorrect. That is incorrect. Derek.
Yeah, Melly, I'm expecting some crazy answers.
5, 4, 3.
70 and 1.
That is incorrect. Kevin Baker, last chance on the board to receive points.
86-1.
That is incorrect. His all-time record is 414-4. His amateur record is 396 wins and 1 loss. His professional record is 18 wins and 3 losses with 2 Olympic gold medals. Shout out to Lomachenko, who recently retired a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know a lot.
You say 414?
Any?
414.
414 wins and 4
And
losses
4
in
losses.
his career.
What the heck?
And should have been kicking ass.
And he shouldn't have 2 of those losses, but whatever. With that, we're going to our final scores. Gas and Derek, and Shadow, who seems to have bounced out, finished with a total score of 2,900. Melly, 4,600, man. That's your, third win on trivia? Good team. Derek and Gas, thank you for playing. Hope to see you again. We'll soften up the questions, like how many C's are in Cleveland Cavaliers, something like that. We'll ask
Yes,
softer
that's what I'm
questions.
talking about, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Hood, Cashflow, and Dom request the transactions for today's prize of $10. Congratulations, gentlemen, on your win. And we'll see you guys next time for the trivia. If you guys would like to cut up and talk a little bit more about sports, you're more than welcome to stay for the next 30 minutes or so. We'll close up shop for the day. Well, thank you guys for joining. And to everybody out there in the comments, everybody else viewing, thank you guys as well. It was a good episode.
Send my team to the cap.
To what?
Send my team to the cap.
Okay. Well, Dom, you got 20 coming your way.
Appreciate that, Casper.
Done.
So, Cashflow, you think you'll be back for another round?
When this one?
Well, when we get enough, I like to do one a week, but if we get enough of good competition, not saying anyone here is incompetent, but good competition, good whatever, then I could do 2 at max in 1 week. But yeah, I mean,
Just let me know in advance. Let me know in advance. I ain't got nothing going.
Well, you spread the word and you let everybody know, and maybe you can manipulate some people to come and get you some more cash.
I got you.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Anybody else? Do y'all want?
Yeah, go ahead. You can send my team to the cap.
Damn, 30 ball for the boy.
Appreciate that. That boy's blessing.
Yanni, you okay?
Blessing.
Okay.
Man, y'all boys be up, man. Love is love.
Until next time.
Gas, do you think you'll be able to play again, or that was it for you, man?
I'd probably hop in again.
Do you think the questions were a little difficult?
I didn't know enough about the MLB. Some of the NFL ones were there. NBA, I just haven't. I know some, but the questions you asked, I didn't know that area. But for the most part, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah. I got some questions
The
from the
bro-
Go
Definitely
ahead.
the bro what those threw me off.
Yeah, the bro what's are hard. That's the
Bro,
point,
what
though.
to make you say, bro, what?
Bro, exactly. Yeah, they make you say, bro, what? Yeah. I mean, I could ask you some questions from a couple other weeks. Maybe that because I don't know if my difficulty has changed or it's consistent, But I feel like they're consistent. What do you think, Dom? They're consistent? I think that UFC one was kind of easy. There's a couple have been kind of easy, but you just got to know,
Yeah.
I don't know enough about UFC at all, so that's why that one.
That was the first UFC question in the bro what's.
I knew it was Amanda Nunes. I just couldn't. I just blanked on her name. And I'm disappointed in myself.
The bros are definitely either you know it or you don't.
Yeah.
It's like you
100%.
saw it in a magazine article one time. Like that's just like, yeah, you know it or you don't. You can't think about them for what's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why when Shadow said Jared Goff that first time, I'm like, I think that was one of the bro whats. I'm like, I know that's one of them, but after the last second one, I'll take my quarterback and hope for the best.
Yeah, definitely was Jared Goff. Yeah, that was one of them. But, you know, you got to name them both. That's why I tried, like, the one Cashflow got right, but that's why I was like, it's too easy, so I'm going to make it like a trick question. Like, name the city and the state, you know?
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Read the fine print.
Yeah, fine print. Yeah.
5 bonus points if you write your name here on the test.
Yeah, exactly. Get full credit, man. Yeah.
We all got winning tomorrow.
Indiana.
Yeah, I can see it. That's gonna be the first finals game hosted in Indy in a long.
No, that arena is gonna be loud as hell.
They're gonna be booming. I think Tyrese is due for one of 40 balls.
Tyrese is due for that triple-double with 15 assists and 10 rebounds with a 30-point, with no turnovers again.
If he does that again, I'm gonna be upset. That's like a once in a playoff run performance. He shouldn't be able to replicate that.
I don't think so, bro.
OKC's defense.
I don't think so, bro, because OKC don't get them caught. Look, I'm sorry. Fact is, OKC plays hound defense, and so does Indiana. But they're not gonna get them calls on the road, bro. Those are gonna be fouls. You cannot be sitting there elbowing people on the arm, grabbing skin and the ball. That's fouls.
Yeah.
But at home, they don't get them calls. And that's what happened in the New York series. They're gonna play the gamble and hope that SGA burns out.
Yeah.
Now you have 2 more days of rest in between games, but you know what I'm saying?
Definitely going to be. This is a good. It's turning out to be a good series. Like Shadow was saying, like way better than. Everybody came in. Thunder were heavily favored. Whatever, expecting a sweep or 5 games, but no, it looks like it's going to be. I can see this one going 7 for real.
Well, if we're being honest, game 2 wasn't competitive from the jump.
It wasn't.
So that whole game was like null and void.
I think if Halliburton played as hard as he did in the fourth quarter, if he did the entire game, that second game would have been more competitive.
But that's what he does all the time.
I know. That's the problem. He doesn't play hard to start the game.
He doesn't play aggressive to start the game.
Yeah.
He plays hard, but he plays the pass. He doesn't play to go score. Like, he had, 3 turnovers in the first quarter. I was like, they about to get their ass blown out. You know what I mean? Like, there's no chance they win this one. You know, a player like that, he can't have that many turnovers a game, and the games will be competitive. Not that early.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. And the hoopla that Siakam has carried on, bro's been a no-show. Honestly, the Thunder it's probably not accurate 100%, but if I can just put a rough estimate, the Thunder have probably led all but 3 minutes between game 1 and game 2.
Yeah.
Maybe less.
It's probably around there.
And you got to think about, we're at 100 minutes of basketball right now? 96 minutes of basketball? And they probably led for 3 minutes? I mean, that's not really a competitive series. You know what I mean? I feel like Indiana hasn't played their best basketball yet. You know? I don't know. Like, if game 1 was game 2 and game 2 was game 1, I'd be a lot more optimistic than what I am right now. But Rick Carlisle is definitely one of the best adjustment coaches ever. If you really, really, really think about it, he's coached a lot of good teams, man. He's been a part of a lot of good basketball.
Teams that play above their
expectation
was more. Yeah, the product was better than what it should have been. Yeah,
absolutely. He got different seasoning in his cabinet.
The sum equals more than the parts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, also it could be like a game of attrition, where it's like if you want to go to game 7, you want to make them burn out. Because leading for that long, it kind of seems like they're doing it on purpose.
Right. So that was what you're saying is a decent. See, I'm gonna articulate what you're saying to give you a little differently to further explain what you're saying. What you're saying is Indiana won game one. They snuck game one. So they felt like they already took home court advantage by winning one of the 2 road games. Therefore, it doesn't matter if we win game 2. We're in for the long haul, go back to Indiana with the advantage, and we'll go from there with what we have. And the problem with that is keep your foot on the neck because you never know what's going to happen. If Tyrese Halliburton rolls his ankle and is out 2 games, you could have a 2-0 lead. But now you playing with spades and it's 1-1. Now you could be down 3-1. That's the problem with that thing because the NBA Finals is more time in between. I think it was Shaquille O'Neal. Was it Shaq? I don't know. It might be by Gilbert Arenas, but he was like, I remember when the NBA Finals was like 2-2, 1-1-1. No, it was 2-3-2. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Man, you didn't have that extra break in between. Now that it's that 2-2, 1-1-1, you have that little bit more break,
Yeah.
So I think that benefits OKC, obviously. And Shea. I don't know.
I think if it goes, the deeper the series goes, it favors more OKC because not only of the bench depth, but I just feel like you said, the extra breaks, and it's just like the legs. The OKC players haven't been tested long series yet this playoff, so yeah, their legs are just gonna be fresher.
They're also not playing 40-minute games.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the beauty of having a team as deep as OKC is you're not asking any one person to play 45, 46 minutes ever.
I'm looking at Chet, who's averaging, I think, 30.
Well, the thing about Chet is, the interesting thing that they've done, Hardenstein doesn't even start anymore. He hadn't started the whole finals. Okay, so Wallace starts. So now they have this little hybrid lineup because they're not afraid of the 2 bigs with Indiana. They're running a trap defense. You have to get the ball down there. So, of course, play the foul game. Now, when they go back to Indiana, they're going to run more 2 bigs because of foul trouble. So, we're going to see more minutes from the bigs. I'm just telling you that now. But I will say this. I'm very interested to see in terms of the production of players going back to Indiana and how the minutes turn out for players like SGA and players like Tyrese Halliburton. Because I don't really see how SGA's game could translate to 7 games. I'm speaking from my standpoint. Tyrese Halliburton could change his game and be more competitive later on. I don't see SGA, if Indiana figures out OKC's system, that's it. There's not many more change. The ball's not going to start running through Chet.
Yeah.
It's not going to. That's it. So they have a really, really, figure this out. If you can't figure it out before we win 4 games, you're done. But if Indiana can just figure it out, just a pinch, offensively, defensively, then they're fine. Because Indiana, when they're hitting threes, right? They're one of those teams. They're hitting threes, but OKC doesn't have to hit threes to win the game, But they have a system in place. So, Denver took OKC to 7 games. But Denver... 3 out of 7 of those games, Denver was walking from their knees. They weren't running. They were dragging. It was bad. They showed their age.
Yeah. So that's another statement to how great Jokic was this season. That team was outmatched from the jump. That team was clearly outmatched by OKC's roster on paper. So the fact that they even had OKC going 7, that's another testament to how great he was this season. So
I agree.
And with no head coach.
With no head coach. He's on the sideline drawing the plays. That's. Jokic is different, man.
Yeah, he is. I think Jokic is the type of player that Wemby. Okay, watch this. This might be a clip. Let me start over. I agree with what you're saying. I feel like Jokic is the type of player that's going to bring back something from a previous generation of appreciation. When I look at Wemby, I see probably what they saw in the 50s and 60s with Wilt Chamberlain. He was such an anomaly on the court, and the things that he could do at the size he could do it was crazy. In 10 years, what we'll say about Wemby. Right now with Jokic is what I see with like Bird or one of those type of players where he wasn't really the biggest freakish athlete, but somehow, some way, no matter what he did, it was the best thing you've seen on the court while he was playing the game. I don't think there's one in the league right now that you could argue is better than Jokic. Maybe people that you could draft before him, but not better than Jokic.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like you said, like, yeah, he's not the flashiest. You know, he's not dunking on people. He's not crossing nobody up. He's not sending shots into the third row.
He is unathletic as hell.
But he's getting it done. You feel him. He controls the gravity of the game when he's on the court.
You know, Jokic reminds me of, it's like, you know, not everybody here has done like jiu-jitsu or something, or some type of, where you, so there are people who aren't very fast, are kind of stupid, aren't very strong, but somehow, some way, like, they just got you. Like, they just got your number. Now, imagine somebody that just got everybody's number, you know? Like, it's just like, it doesn't really matter. Like, Kobe at a point in time relied really on athleticism and, like, the, you know? Even when he was 24, Kobe, he still had, like, an anomaly of athleticism and this and that. Or even grit and grind and blah. But imagine somebody with, like, a dead face, no energy, no bounce, just walking around like they don't care, busting your ass night in and night out. Like, that hurts worse to me. I feel like it would be, Jokic would be worse if he wasn't like Luka. I feel like Luka would be better if he had Jokic's attitude. But Luka's emotion takes away from, like, that part. And Luka's athletic, he is. But, like, I think that's the part that makes, like, Tim Duncan. Kevin Garnett was doing this interview about Tim Duncan. He said he was the greatest trash talker he's ever played against because he didn't talk in sentences. He talked in phrases. He'd be like, almost, or a little better, or ooh, almost got me, or ooh, too strong. You know what I mean? Like, he would say little things just to jab at you the whole time where no one can hear but you. And he did it in a straight face. Like, I feel like that's the thing that Jokic has on so many players. They, like, want to get him, but they just can't do it.
Yeah. And he's done it he does, like you said, he has everybody's number. I mean, Anthony Davis is probably, he's one of the top interior defenders that we've seen in this generation. Whenever he matches up against him, he just looks like another guy.
Yep.
Just everybody's number, like I said. That's just here.
Yep. And I mean, honestly, you know, he's missed more games than he's played. And he's been in the league almost 10 years. But Joel Embiid is another prime example. Like, Joel Embiid, what disappointed me about Jokic in the playoffs this year is that, like, you saw a lot more, like, flops and stuff. I think he was tired. I'm not making an excuse, but I think he was tired. I think he was exhausted. I think he's frustrated, right? Finally seeing he's human. Something that Joel Embiid, from a raw basketball standpoint, that man is insane. But he's going to get lost in time, I feel, when it comes to looking back on generations because of that exact thing right there. You look at I don't know if it's the demeanor, the attitude, or whatever. It just doesn't fit like that. Anthony Davis fits that. Anthony Davis will never be forgotten, I feel like. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, people will remember AD.
Like, if you really think about, go back the past, 10 years, 15 years? Go back since 2000. Look at all the MVPs. Joel Embiid, out of all the MVPs, is the biggest anomaly. Like, really. Dirk got a finals MVP with him. Steve Nash got 2 MVPs, right? James Harden got an MVP. Westbrook, triple-double. Kevin Durant, 2 finals. I don't know. Like, Joel Embiid is the anomaly out of those characters. I mean, I feel like James Harden, the whole generation of young guards play like James Harden. With the tween step back, that's all James Harden. If you flip everything left-handed, that's all James Harden.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And Embiid, yeah, like you said, it's an anomaly, but it's not an anomaly in the numbers he put up. It's an anomaly in his status amongst some other players, like you said. Like, yeah, the other players have finals MVPs. They have finals appearances. They have championships. They have multiple seasons where they've done that, but Embiid only has that one.
Yeah.
But I will say, just on the court, when he's healthy on the court, he can be like similar to like that AD like status. He could have been that if he were on the court more and had more team success. But like you said, just wasn't there.
I'll tell you what Embiid could have been, and I agree. You take that finals against the Suns away, and Giannis MVP is no different. The only thing is, you really can't argue it. Jokic really won that MVP against Embiid, but they just gave it to him, okay?
Yeah.
Now, this SGA one, you could have went back and forth, but damn, Jokic averaged a 30-point triple-double. You should have gave that one to him, too. You know, like, he was third in all 5 major categories. I mean, be serious. But Giannis will never be forgotten. Like, his stamp is, you know, might be boring, but he'll never be forgotten. Embiid, it's like, I don't know, like, there's a gap in his legacy. I can't figure out exactly what it is, but there's a gap in his legacy. I don't know.
Try to find a comp for what that's maybe like this generation, like a Charles Barkley.
Nope.
Because Charles Barkley had, you know, because he's getting lost in the mix of there's too many. You're good, but there's players that are better.
Charles Barkley, when he was playing, also got to the finals, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
But he just lost to Jordan? I mean, damn. You know, like, well. Yeah, I mean, you're going against Hakeem every year. I mean, dude. You know what I mean? Like, Joel is in the East with nobody.
Yeah, especially compared to years past, like that era where there was a bunch of interior elite rim protectors and people were getting elbowed, and he definitely should have done more.
You know what?
This year, this had a lot going on this year. A lot of it was him being off the court, but the Paul George didn't help much either.
No, it didn't. KD to the Spurs, what you think?
That is going to be that front court. Man, that's some fun ball to watch. KD Wemby front court. That's gonna be some fun ball to watch if that happens. Because how do you guard that? Who can even try to guard that? You know, like no one has a. If Fox is healthy, they have KD and Wemby out there. That's gonna be hell.
You know, I'll say something and hear me out, okay? Hear me out. I think right now, Wemby is already one of the best shot blockers in NBA history, okay? Shot blockers. But you know what loses a lot of people a lot of money? They bet the over on his rebounds, and he don't never get it. Yeah. I think if they can just sign like a Steven Adams, like something sneaky on the back end and just grab rebounds. And you have Wemby at the 4, KD at the 3. And whoever's left at the 2. It'll probably be Vasil. And then De'Aaron Fox at the 1. That's a top 5 in the West.
Yeah, that's the one, bro. Somebody, I could see maybe like a Robert Williams. I'm not sure what his contract looks like or how much the Trailblazers want for him. I think Robert Williams, if he can stay healthy.
Robert Williams, he's played for the Celtics.
For the Celtics,
yeah.
That's someone who wouldn't be too expensive. Who, like you said, just a dog, get in there, do the dirty work for KD and Wemby.
Yeah.
So they don't get caught up in the mix because you don't want Wemby. He didn't even get hurt. He just had it was a blood clot, right? It wasn't an injury. So,
Right. Yeah, he's playing soccer, and now he's doing a monk stuff. I don't know. He's got a lot going on all season.
So yeah, you don't want them getting you don't want KD and Wemby to be the ones asked to go down and get dirty and get rebounds and stuff.
You don't. No, you don't. Yeah. Wemby don't need to be learning. He doesn't need to be learning to play face to the basket. He needs to be learning how to play back to the basket.
Yeah.
Wemby, if could you imagine? I mean, that would terrorize the league the next 20 years. KD can play another 5, I can say, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 3 to 5. And if he teaches Wemby how to be that efficient, that's gonna be boring the next 20 years. Damn.
Yeah. That's the dangerous part too that I wasn't thinking about too. Fuck them being on the court, them being in the lab. Like what KD's gonna teach Wemby, like that's gonna be.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know who hangs out with KD every summer, every camp? His best friend. So imagine little Kyrie getting in the lab with Wemby, teaching him how to like obviously you won't be able to do it at speed, but what?
But yeah. Yeah, because he already moves better than 95% of centers in the league. So yeah, if he's doing that. Like you said, that will a big anomaly. Like there's no telling what Wemby can even be. Like so yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch.
And the only thing that's gonna stop Wemby from being the GOAT is championship debates. If he wins 5 championships, all the stats are gonna be there. Every one of the stats are gonna be there. If he just wins championships, there's no chance. That's the only reason why we can't argue Wilt is the GOAT, is because not enough film to prove that he done the things that he done.
Yeah. That is true. That is very true. That's the thing holding him back. Yeah, Wemby's gonna I could see and every year he's healthy, he's gonna get that DPOY award too. So that's gonna be a wash. Yeah, he's gonna have those accolades for sure.
Yep.
He's gonna be an all-star every year he plays. He's gonna be all NBA every year he's healthy because right now the only 2 centers you can say for sure are big men. Do you consider Wemby a center? Well, he's a forward, right?
He a big. That's what I would say. He a big.
Yeah.
I think he could play the center if he was the 3rd best option on the team. Like if he was on the Clippers, he could be the center. But like how he plays, like that's what made France so crazy because they had Gobert at the 5 and his big ass at the 4/3. They really had Batum at the 4 and him at like the 3. Like what in the world?
And playing on the wing and
that's so crazy. That is, and he doing step back. James Harden 1-leg 3. Bro, I almost turned my TV off. And like it's good basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I like about like
he ain't out there bluffing.
Yeah. Like he shoot 2 threes in the first quarter. He not hitting. All right, let's get to the paint. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's try something else. If he's hitting, he gonna shoot 11 threes at night. He plays good basketball. He wants to win. You know, I just hope that his body holds up.
Yeah.
Because that was the question with KD. He's really small. Is his body gonna be able to hold up? Is he gonna? And he just gained like 6 pounds. 6. And the year after, he's an MVP talk. Boom. That fast.
That fast. And then he I don't know what happened when he went to Golden State, but for some reason when he went to Golden State, he decided to become a better defender and rebounder, and so that was another phase of that. So
he didn't have to run no more.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A lot less offensive pressure on him, so he had more. He had more to do on the other side.
Yep. like he was shuffling, and I think he had a little bit of attitude.
Yeah.
I feel like KD was a little soft in OKC. Like, even when, like, I remember when Giannis first came on the scene, he was in that dunk contest. Everybody was like, damn, this is just an aggressive KD that can't shoot. What if KD was this aggressive? What if KD, I mean, we saw KD dunk every once in a while, but that skinny KD in them baggy clothes, he was just so, like, soft. Like, that's what he was, you know?
He was, yeah.
Westbrook was the enforcer, 15-footers, but dunks and move. And James Harden was like the in between the two, because James Harden was dunking on people in OKC.
Yeah, he was. Yes, he was.
So, yeah, I think that he didn't have to play that role in OKC with Nick Collins and Falosha and Perk, and he just go get a buck, however you want, Where in Golden State, he had this cupcake, everybody had the cupcakes and Snake and all that, and you got Draymond Green on the court. It's rather you're gonna keep going or you're gonna get punked. And the shooter role is already taken. So hey, we can put Zaza Pachulia out here, or you can run the 5. What you want to do? All right, I'll run the 5. Boom. So that's what he did.
So that added another layer. So yeah, so if and that's gonna happen because Wemby is what 20, 21?
Yeah, he's young.
So he's gonna get bigger just from being
getting older. Yep.
Yeah, just being
down.
older. So.
And he don't gotta get much bigger.
He doesn't at all. He just has to get really. It's not even about his. He just has to get, like you said, a little bit more dog in him. Yep. A little bit.
Yep.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the worst thing in the NBA is a hater. It be people that know they're after this contract is done, they gonna be folding clothes in the back of somebody's laundromat. You know what I mean? And so they you know what? I'm at the end of my contract anyway. Let me go ahead and step on this fool's ankle or get under his leg or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's people like that, sadly, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Giannis, though. I know I said this months ago. I said Giannis or KD is going to the Spurs. And then they got that draft pick, and I said, oh, yeah, one of them is definitely going to the Spurs. But I just think that the Suns are so desperate to get KD out that they're going to pay – the Spurs are going to pay less for Kevin Durant than what they would for Giannis. And KD fits the mold a lot better.
Yeah, he does.
I think if the Mavs would have had, the number 2, the number 5, they would trade for KD. But with the number 1 pick, you kind of got to take the white boy.
You got to.
Because politically, in Dallas-Fort Worth, Dirk Nowitzki, Luke, let's just be honest, right?
Right.
And, from a fit standpoint, he can learn to play back from the basket from Anthony Davis. He can learn to put the ball on the ground from Kyrie Irving because he is going – one thing Kyrie Irving going to do, every teammate he plays with, he wants to play one-on-one. He wants to play one-on-one with everybody. So imagine Cooper Flag getting individual attention every practice from Kyrie Irving playing one-on-one. Jesus Christ, who knows what he could turn into?
Yeah. If then on the back end of that, he's going to – because he can – the way he's built – he can be a very versatile player. So if he's learning that from Kyrie and then he goes around, turns around, picks up some defensive tips from AD, yep. Yeah, that's going to show him what he can be.
Yeah, he can play the 2-4.
Yeah. So And then the biggest thing with the Luka trade that made Mavericks fans mad was, okay, we're still a good team right now, but what about 5 years from now? But now you have Cooper Flag, you get both. So, yeah, like you said. And then on top of that, he has the star power, he has the face, the look, so they had to pick him. They had to, yeah.
They got to pick him.
If they had traded for Giannis, it would have been that. I mean, Kyrie, AD, Giannis, definitely a super team, but then it's for how long? And then what happens if AD gets hurt and that's another season gone, or Kyrie, you never know. So,
well, the problem with that, it's actually a little simpler than that. Kevin Durant can stretch the floor. Yeah. You have 2 bigs under contract other than Anthony Davis. There's no way you get Giannis.
Oh, that's true. And he's which one was it? Said he wants starting center money. Gafford said he wants starting center money too. So now you gotta, yeah.
So now Brook Lopez. Oh, that would be great. Look, Brook Lopez is at the end of his contract. He needs to go somewhere like Spurs, Mavs. Great little scoop. Damn, the Golden State Warriors. There's a couple teams that Brook Lopez would be great on. But the Bucks just don't have enough. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't think they can afford to move Giannis.
They can't, because then you come. Let's say they trade to the Knicks, right? Let's say the Knicks trade them. I don't know. Who are they even? That's on because the Knicks are already so thin. So it's like you have to trade OG or
Karl Anthony Towns.
Cat. But then it's like if I'm the Bucks, do I want OG and Cat for Giannis? Sitting here with Dame, OG, and Cat. Like what's that?
No, Dame's not playing next year.
Oh shit! For he's out all next season.
Yeah, he tore his Achilles at the end of the playoffs.
Oh shit! You're right.
At 36 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And guess where you gave your other point guard? To the Celtics. I mean. Oh, and by the way, you give up Milton for Kuzma. Yeah. Let's build around Kuzma, shall we? That organization did that to themselves. With Doc Rivers as the head coach. What are we talking about?
Yeah, they did. They had Bud. I don't know why they fired Bud. I guess you felt like you were stagnant and you felt like Giannis wasn't happy to make a move, but firing Bud was not the move.
No, Giannis wasn't happy because his numbers was down, but they were winning. So they gave Giannis the keys a couple years ago. He doesn't even pay for his meals, what they said. He doesn't pay for his meals in Milwaukee. But he had major influence and decision in the releasing of Griffin. And a part of that was Doc being in the organization, bad-mouthing Griffin, which isn't the first time Doc has done that, supposedly. Bad-mouthing within the organization.
So, yeah. I don't know what the Bucks. I don't know what they're gonna do with that because the Knicks aren't gonna give them a package that makes them a winner, nor something they trade all the draft picks for Mikal. So
all of them. Damn.
It's all available draft picks. I mean, what can we trade? Okay, here. Look.
And Mikal is not that guy. Like Mikal is good, but he's not like where did this stigma come from that he was just like this like I never saw it. I saw Cam Johnson more expensive than he is.
I think what it is with Mikal is that the two-way wings are kind of a dying breed in today's league, and he was the only one that was available on the market, and so that led to them overpaying. But I don't know who else would have even sent anything close to that for him.
Nobody. But guess where they got him from?
They got him from Brooklyn, didn't they? Or they got him from Washington?
I thought they got him from the Suns, no?
Oh, they didn't get him from the Suns. You're right.
Who is probably one of two worst franchises. But guess who they pay all their stuff to? Bradley Beal.
Yeah. Suns are definitely that's another dumpster fire. That team, and that's another situation where they just tried to fit it all. They started putting shit together. I'm hoping it works. Like everybody knew from the jump that Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, KD. Okay, now you have 3 elite scorers, but 2 of them need the ball in their hands to be elite scorers, and one of them is older. And now you have no center, you have no bench, you have no point guard, you had half a coach. So it's just
I agree. The stigma that I never believed in with that team, Kyrie won, okay?
Uh-huh.
James Harden went to the finals and several Western Conference finals. With KD, they didn't win. Now, they didn't win because of injuries, I believe, more than being outcoached and outplayed. I believe injuries played a bigger role. Either way, they did not win. So you think a 20-win average Devin Booker Spurs and a 20-win average Bradley Beal Wizards can team up with no point guard, add KD, and win with a defensive head coach and Frank Vogel? That's brain rot.
Yeah, that was a setup for failure. That was good. And like, on paper, it sounds good. Looks, it puts butts in feet.
Yep. It's a 2K team.
Yeah, exactly. 2K team. But put them out there on the court and actually try to play 48 minutes of basketball. That's a whole nother story.
And then you just paid Devin Booker again. Devin Booker don't care about winning. I think he's accepted that he's never gonna win. He's never gonna win. He's okay. He's okay with that.
Yeah, because there's no way he was putting up 70 points. That was what 8 years ago that he did that. No, he just doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't.
And no, as long as he can ride his Monte Carlos and Paula's Chevelles with his big ass pants, big ass sunglasses, beanies, he don't care.
And it's crazy because he really developed great point guard skills playing with Chris Paul to where, like, if he went to another team,
yeah, but he ain't gonna leave.
Like, yeah, not gonna leave, and these little, they're not gonna really. The Suns aren't gonna figure it out. I don't think they might eventually. They might get lucky, get a lucky draft pick, or somebody decides they want to play with Devin Booker.
They gotta get off that Bradley Beal contract.
Yeah,
they ain't got no money, no picks. I think 3 of their picks in the next like 7 years are someone else's. 4 of them are someone else's, and the other ones are swaps. Like, GG, man. So now, if you go get Dylan Harper, aka send KD to the Spurs, get the number 2 pick, and then get one of the two youngins, and maybe Harrison Barnes for money, it works. Okay, that works. Yeah. You're not gonna get both of them, but maybe you can get Vassell and number 2 pick and Harrison Barnes. Cool. That turns the Spurs into a win now team, and that gives you the reset that you want.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you one thing. I said this in like February. KD's going to Texas. And I tell you, if the Mavs, they're getting number 1 overall pick, so I'm going to cross them out. But if the Spurs mess around and let him go to Houston, oh boy.
That would be scary. That would be scary because that whole team has so much, like, they're young and they have so much energy that KD literally would only have to do what he wants to do.
Yeah. Bro, just go be a killer, bro. You don't got to do nothing else. We will play defense. You don't have to come back on defense. Score 30 a night. What? That is heaven for KD. KD could play 6-7 more years doing that. Just go give me 30.
You ain't got a rebound. You ain't got
Nope.
That's all that.
We got the top 3 defensive coach in the league. We got top 3 young talent at guard, top 3 young talent at forward, top 3 young talent at big, and Kevin Durant. Yeah.
And Jason Tate hitting in the corner. Yeah, that's
right. Yeah, you got Jason Tate or Jabari Smith in the corner, and they all getting back on defense. You got Sengun on the block, and you got JG4. I mean, if they add KD, either one of those teams add KD, they're definitely top 4 in the West next season.
Yeah. That would be Sengun. That would develop Sengun. Sengun would look crazy on the court with KD, I would say. Yeah. He would look, his numbers would probably be.
Yeah.
He would start flirting with, like, I want to say maybe like Sabonis numbers. I ain't going to say Jokic numbers. Ain't nobody touching Jokic numbers.
Nah.
It's Sabonis numbers.
I will say that maybe since, because, the Spurs got back-to-back Rookie of the Years, I think right now Castle's sell is a little higher, but I don't think Castle would complement playing with Devin Booker as much as Vassell would. But
I think now I don't know what they want to do. I think if you have Castle kind of in that, like, Harden 6-man role where he really shouldn't be coming off the bench, but he's coming off the bench because you have Fox, that could be lethal.
Right, but they got to give one of them away. They're going to have to give the number 2 pick for sure, okay? And that's probably going to be Dylan Harper. If I was the Suns, Devin Booker needs a point guard beside him. Don't go draft Bailey, Ace, because even though he's a big forward / wing, he needs the ball facilitator as well. He's not going to be able to do that. If you go look at his Rutger highlights, he looks like he's playing 2K. Like, it's like, there's no way you want to win playing like this. There's no way you want to win playing like this. And what he's saying in his interview, I'm going to continue taking shots like this because I practiced them. Good luck, bud. They're going to rip the back of your name off a jersey. Like, bro, what?
Yeah.
There's no way. So I seriously think he killed his draft stock with this interview. You know,
it's like Kevin Porter vibes.
it is, and Kevin Porter is a phenomenal talent, but he's not coachable like at all. He's gonna do what the hell he wants to do. Like if Westbrook was a little bit less talented, scratch that. If Westbrook was a little bit less athletic, he would have been gone out the league because he is not coachable. Wow.
I can agree on that. Yeah. Definitely.
Miles Bridges is a hooper, but it's a system thing. Like, you just gotta do what you want to do.
Yeah.
What you say?
I was saying that's another team that, like, they how the Pistons were this year. I can see. I can also not see it, but I could see the Hornets taking, if they all stay healthy. I could see them taking maybe not the Pistons size lead, but maybe like kind of like an Orlando size, like just getting into the playoffs. I could see Charlotte doing that if they can all stay healthy and stay on the court.
Okay, hold on. Orlando finished the season 41-41 with their two best players missing half the season or more. Orlando's going to be a top 4 team in the East next year.
They are.
Detroit, I don't know how much better they can get as a team, but I know Cade can get better.
Yeah.
And the Thompson twin can get more playing time, but I still don't see how he'll contribute more to I don't know. I think they're missing a piece. I don't know what exactly, but they're missing a piece. Now, the Charlotte Hornets, healthy, they can be better than Washington. They can be better than Brooklyn. They can be better than Chicago. They can be better than Atlanta, maybe. Maybe better than Miami. But Toronto has a crazy squad. Like,
Toronto squad, it is. I will say, Scotty Barnes is definitely one of the most underappreciated talents that we have in the league today.
Yeah. And you remember, they got Brandon Ingram. They got RJ Barrett. They got, what's that dude from the Spurs? Podol. Mm-hmm. They got a little squad. Grady. They got a smooth little squad. I think the 76ers will be okay. I think they'll be okay.
The Raptors would be a good spot for a Chris Paul type.
Nah, Chris Paul going to LA. I don't know if he's going to the Clippers or the Lakers, but he said he wants to be an active father for his children. He's missed a lot of their life. So that kind of soils, you know. We know he's going out west. We just don't know which one. And I'm pretty sure it's not the Bay. So, because he's already played for them.
He's been trying to play with LeBron his whole career, so he might as well go to the Lakers.
He's been probably played for Lakers his whole career. Only trade they ever get vetoed.
Yep.
I will say that they can find a way to get LaMelo out of Charlotte, which probably won't happen. Okay. Or find a way to get Zion out of New Orleans. That'd be really good for the league.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't have Cade, LaMelo, Ja, and Zion just rotting. Like, somebody's that's too expensive to the league, you know?
Yeah, that, and especially if you put any of those two together, that's box office TV. And I'm talking about those 4 players you just named. If you take any of them two, even you put LaMelo and Cade on the same team, box office TV. Mm-hmm. Like obviously LaMelo and Zion, Cade and Zion, John and Zion would be. But yeah, you definitely can't just have them rotting. You can.
Yeah, I mean, OKC got lucky, right? Because if that Paul George trade doesn't go through, they have Paul George, Chet, and the gang. No J-Dub, no Shea. That team is ass.
Yeah.
That team's bad. I mean, like, there's a couple teams that got lucky. Like, Paulo and Orlando, let's face it, they're going to be a good team, but they don't have enough money to get another superstar. So, unless they get lucky and draft good in their window, they're never going to be a superstar team. and their market isn't big enough either in Orlando, which I don't get. You're in Florida, like I don't know. I don't know why Orlando's market isn't as big as it should be, but it's just not.
Yes.
But yeah, and Detroit's market isn't big enough either. I don't know.
Orlando, I think their real chance is that somebody on that team takes another leap. Not necessarily a leap, takes another step. Somebody, I don't know who, maybe Suggs. If Suggs can take a step, that would help them a lot. But
you know what?
They were 41-40 with both their best players being out half the season, so
Yeah.
fine.
I think it's weird because it's like, which direction do you want to go in the draft? Look, you got Anthony Black, you got Suggs, you got Cole Anthony, who are all decent to good players that can all go off randomly. They can all score 2 points as well. Then you have two centers who are like wild cards. You don't know what you're getting out of them. And then you have two elite forwards who are going to up and coming, and then the forward's older brother. So it's like, do you go draft somebody like Walter Clayton out of Florida, who is another wild card, but could be like a J.R. Smith, which is perfect, you know? Or do you go get somebody who can stop the back door, like just a clamp defender? Like, I don't even know what direction they're trying to go. Their draft is going to be very interesting to me. Their off season. They don't have much money, but they can make some moves in the draft. I don't know where like someone like Michael Porter Jr. and Lauri Markkanen are going, because they need to rehome. I wouldn't be surprised if Utah traded Markkanen, Jordan Clarkson, and Colin Sexton this summer. I would not be surprised if all three of them was gone.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wanted OKC prior to last offseason to try to get Markkanen, but getting Hartenstein and Caruso definitely looks like it was a better move.
Oh yeah.
And
I don't even remember what they paid for Hartenstein. That's what I'm saying. Like, what do the Knicks be doing? They brain dead. We have Mitchell Robinson. Who cares? So what? You're giving people away for nothing.
Yeah. But I will say, though, the Knicks, I don't think the Knicks could afford to give Hartenstein the contract OKC gave him. OKC gave him that to make sure that they got him.
You're right.
They did overpay a little bit for him.
But look what he's
Which
done.
they can do. Yeah, look what he's done. And then also, if OKC needs to trade something, we have 17 draft picks. So it's like, who cares about the cap space? And then if it turns out he does need to get traded, or if somebody, and I don't even know who OKC would trade for, because you don't need anything right now, so you don't need to trade for anybody. But if you wanted to trade for a big star that became available, the contract helps make that trade easier. So it helps both ways.
Absolutely.
I will say, I don't know what OKC is going to, because OKC right now has 10 players that can arguably, I'm not going to say start, but can be like useful players anywhere in the league.
Yeah, not start, but useful, yeah.
Not start, but be useful players anywhere in the league. So
nine.
I don't know if using all those draft picks, like I don't even know what they're going to do with those draft picks, because those are going to be players you're drafting with no spot to fill.
Well, no, that's the irony behind it, is they're not going to be able to pay all these guys.
Yeah.
So, are you going to be greedy and let the people walk and draft replacements, or are you going to trade for superstars to win more rings in the now? That's the only two options you got. You can trade 2 draft picks in Chet or 2 draft picks in J-Dub for X, Y, and Z. Or you can just keep letting them walk one at a time and keep drafting right after them and keep hoping for hits. Which, if you look at the drafts, they're really not hits. I'm sorry. Chet's cool. J-Dub's cool. But SGA is the hit, and that was a trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Caruso, trade.
They're fit. They're not hit. They're fit.
Yep.
OKC got fits. Casey Wallace was a fit.
Yep.
Chet was a fit when he was center. Because to pay for Caruso, that was a fit. Hartenstein. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But Sam Presti, I will say, does a really good job of like finding good fits. So as long as he keeps doing that, but like you said, it's going to be hard because you can't keep everybody on the damn team. So at some point, some decision's going to have to be made, whether it be you deciding between J-Dub and Chet or deciding between keeping J-Dub and Chet and letting Lou Dort and something else go. You know, you can't afford to keep all of them. So
let's say even if oh, go ahead.
I was saying, but for now, they're rocking.
Yep. I would say learn from Boston Celtics and do the opposite. Because the Boston Celtics right now, they should have cashed out when they had the chance. And now that whole team's going to be blown up with one ring to show for it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you for sitting by, listening to our after talk. Thank you for people in the comments. A couple of you, thank you. We're going to sign off now. But the next couple of days we'll be back on. Dom, thanks for staying extra and have this conversation, man. And I'll probably see you in the chat.